Think of becoming a surgical tech like reaching the top of this mountain. There are 3 paths to get there, and the path you choose will determine whether you succeed fast or fail miserably. Now, the very first thing you need to start your career is to get the right surgical tech training. You need to enroll in a training program. So here are your options. Path number 1, traditional college programs. Now, this is the path that 90% of people think they have to take. But hey, here is a spoiler. You don't need to take this path and go to some on-campus surgical tech school. In fact, it is completely outdated, and I'll explain more in this video. Path number 2, random online programs. Now, this path looks simple, it looks convenient, but there are hidden traps that stop most people from ever reaching the top. And path number 3. Now, this is the path that's already helped so many students nationwide start towards their surgical tech careers in as little as 4 to 6 months. I mean, this path feels like you've got a jetpack that helps you reach the top faster and without all of those hassles. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which path to take and how to get the right surgical tech training. I am Landon from the OR Insider, and on this channel, I share strategies to help you transition towards high-demand healthcare careers. So, with all that being said, let's get started. Now, let's start with path number 1, which is traditional college programs. Now, these will typically be your 2-year associate degree programs or certificate programs at universities and community colleges. Now, most people assume that you need to take this path to become a surgical tech. Well, let me say it again. You don't need to go back to school. There are some major problems that come up with an on-campus education, and it is important that you know what these are. So, let me share these with you. Problem number 1, the financial nightmare. Most college surgical tech programs charge anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000 just for tuition. But that is not even the complete cost. You could spend hundreds more on textbooks every semester. Surgical technology textbooks, anatomy manuals, operating room procedure guides. You typically have to pay for them all separately. Then comes the fees that somehow never made it in the original price quote. Lab fees, technology fees, student services fees, graduation fees. I mean, some programs even charge you an application fee. In other words, you have to pay just to apply. Now, since you'll be driving to campus multiple times a week, there goes another $200 to $400 per semester for parking permits. And then you add in gas money, food costs, and if you have kids, childcare expenses while you were in class. So before you know it, that $20,000 program actually costs close to $40,000. Now, to afford a price tag like that, you might have to apply for student loans or financial aid, and we know how difficult and annoying that can be. All right, just think about it for a moment. You're trying to improve your life with a better career, but you're starting that journey by going into massive debt that could take years to pay off. Do you really want that? Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want that. Problem number 2. The time trap. These college programs typically take up to 24 months to complete. That is a long time. And what really bothers me is that you could spend months of that time studying subjects that have absolutely nothing to do with surgical technology. College algebra, English composition, social sciences, humanities, like they will require you to take all of these general education courses that won't help you prep an operating room or assist a surgeon with an actual procedure. Now, you're probably wondering, why do they do this? Well, here is a little dirty secret these colleges don't want you to know. To be eligible for government grants and financial aid, their programs need to be at least 9 to 12 months long. Now, that is why they pad the curriculum with these unnecessary courses that have absolutely nothing to do with your actual career. Enrolling in a full-time school program basically means you are putting your life on hold for 2 long years. Problem number 3. Rigid schedule. Now, this one is probably the biggest reason why it is extremely difficult for busy adults to go back to school. These programs decide when you learn. I mean, your entire life has to revolve around their schedule. Just picture this. You are working full-time to pay your bills. Your kid gets sick on a Wednesday, so you gotta miss a class. Then your boss needs you to work late the following Monday, so you miss another class. Well, now, all of a sudden, you are behind, stressed and struggling to catch up. Now, I don't know about you, but when I struggle and when I get stressed, it is not pretty. And if you miss too many classes and you fail, well, that could mean starting all the way over or just dropping out entirely. This isn't education designed for real adults with real responsibilities. This is education designed for people who can put their entire lives on hold. And problem number 4, the waiting game. So even after you decide to enroll, you might have to wait 3 to 6 months for the next semester to begin. So you are motivated, you've made the decision to change your career, you're ready to start building a better future, but now you have to sit around and wait for the semester to start. So that's path number 1, the traditional college route. Going back to our mountain analogy, this path really is the longest and most difficult. It is like trying to climb the mountain while carrying a 50-pound backpack filled with rocks you don't need. The weight of student loan debt slows you down. The burden of irrelevant courses makes every step harder. The rigid schedule forces you to climb only when they say you can, not when it works for your life. With a college program, you can definitely reach the top, but it's just going to be exhausting, expensive, and it just takes way too long. All right, now let's take a look at path number 2, online programs. Now, because of all the problems with traditional college programs, more and more people are exploring online surgical tech programs. Look, I get the appeal. Online programs seem like the perfect solution. They are flexible, convenient, and you can learn from your home. But here's what most people don't realize. The online program space is filled with hidden traps that could completely derail your surgical tech dreams. You're probably wondering, hey, Landon, how? Well, let me break down the 4 major drawbacks that most people are not aware of. Drawback number 1, training from unaccredited sources. Now, this one is huge, and it is where most people get burned without even knowing it. Now, because of the rising demands for surgical techs, all kinds of organizations have started offering these so-called surgical tech training programs. Some random guy with a website calls himself a surgical tech expert. A for-profit company creates a course and claims it will get you job ready. You know what I'm talking about. You see ads on social media promising to make you a surgical tech in just a few weeks. But here's the problem. Many of these programs aren't accredited sources. Getting your training from an unaccredited source raises immediate red flags about the quality of your education. You could spend months completing a program, pay hundreds or thousands of dollars, and then find out that your certificate is essentially worthless in the eyes of an employer. Drawback number 2, not ready for certification. Now, once you finish your surgical tech training, the next step is to obtain surgical tech certification. This is a key requirement. One of the most recognized certifications is the NCCT's TSC. Now, in order to obtain this certification, you have to take a standardized exam. Now, when you pass, you become certified, and you can proudly add to your resume that you hold a surgical tech certification. Now, a lot of people have this confusion that when they complete their training, that means they have a certification, but that is not the case. Your training just prepares you for the career and the certification exam. So here is where it gets scary with the majority of online programs. These programs don't properly prepare you for the TSC certification exam. Some students discover they are not even eligible to take the exam after completing certain programs. Now just imagine that. You spend months studying, complete your training, and then find out you can't even attempt to get the certification that employers require. All right, drawback number 3, outdated curriculum. The surgical field evolves constantly. New instruments, updated sterile protocols, advanced operating room technologies, revised safety guidelines. I mean, things change fast in surgical technology, but many online programs are using a curriculum that hasn't been updated for years. This leaves you feeling unprepared when you start working. I mean, you could walk into your first job thinking you know what to do, only to discover that everything you learned is outdated. Drawback number 4, no pathway for hands-on clinical experience. As a surgical tech, you'll be working directly in the operating room, prepping sterile fields, sterilizing instruments, passing instruments to surgeons during procedures. These are hands-on skills that require real, legitimate hands-on practice. Now, unfortunately, a lot of online programs have no pathway to gain hands-on experience. This could prove to be a big hole when you start looking for a job. So, while online programs might look convenient and affordable on the surface, many of them set you up for failure. And I'm not trying to fearmonger you, but you could end up with worthless credentials, unprepared for certification, using outdated knowledge, and with no practical experience. All right, so we have seen path 1, which is the expensive, time-consuming college route that's like climbing with unnecessary weight. And now we have seen path number 2, online programs that look convenient but are filled with hidden traps that could leave you stranded halfway up the mountain. But thankfully, there is a third path that eliminates every single problem that I have just described. Now, what if there was a way to get your surgical tech education that was 100% online and self-paced, so you could learn on your own schedule through an accredited university, so you'll get the credibility that employers respect, can be completed in as little as 4 months instead of 12 to 24 months, cost under $2,000 instead of $15,000 or $25,000, includes hands-on experience opportunities, prepares you specifically for the NCCT TSC certification, and you can start immediately without waiting for semester dates. Well, a program like this does exist. After seeing all the problems with traditional college programs and the hit or miss nature of most online options, I was finally able to discover the ideal solution. Introducing the Preppy approach. Now, look, folks, we have now reached the most critical point of this video, so please, listen up. The Preppy approach is a complete step-by-step system designed specifically for busy adults who want to start their surgical tech careers without the waste and expense of traditional education. Preppy has completely revolutionized training for healthcare careers. And if you want to become a surgical tech faster, I can easily vouch for Preppy. So you're probably wondering, how do I even get started with the Preppy approach? Well, all you need to do is enroll in Preppy's surgical tech training program. Now, again, make sure those ears are tuned in and pay close attention, because I'm about to go in depth with everything you will get with Preppy. 100% online and self-paced. With Preppy, you have complete freedom from classroom education. Your training is 100% online, giving you the convenience of learning from the comfort of your own home. You can move through the course at your own pace, on your own schedule. Study in the morning before the kids wake up, during lunch breaks at work, or on the couch at night when the house is quiet. Your schedule, your rules. You don't have to stress about your job or worry about expensive childcare during lectures. Your training fits your life, not the other way around. In partnership with an accredited university. Preppy's program is in partnership with a prestigious accredited university. When you complete your training program, you get a certificate of completion from this university. With Preppy, you are not getting a completion certificate from some random organization that no one has heard of. Now, your training is essentially through a well-known, respected university. I mean, just think about how proud you'll be when your coworkers see that certificate hanging on the wall in your office. I mean, that feeling when you can confidently say you got your surgical tech training through a respected university without ever setting foot on campus. Now, folks, I cannot stress how huge this is. With Preppy, you are getting a university certificate for your education while learning online and without going back to school. Faster completion. Preppy's program is self-paced, meaning you could complete the program in as little as 4 months. Not years like other programs, months. With Preppy, you get laser sharp training focused exactly on what you need to know. No unnecessary electives, no irrelevant general education courses, just the skills you'll actually use as a surgical tech. But hey, look, we understand life happens. Kids get sick, work gets crazy. I mean, things come up. And that is why you have complete access to Preppy's program for a full year. You can pause, take breaks, and pick up right where you left off. No missed classes, no falling behind, no stress. Next, ready for surgical tech certification. With Preppy's program, you get all the skills to crush the NCCT's Tech in Surgery Certified exam. After completing your training with Preppy, you can apply and sit for your certification exam to get the recognized NCCT Surgical Tech certification. Preppy's program is updated consistently to stay in line with the latest certification guidelines. It comes with interactive quizzes that mimic the questions you'll get in the exam. Look, being certified gives you a competitive edge, helping you stand out among other candidates and meeting the requirements that most employers have. This program is also beginner friendly, so even if you are new to healthcare, you can easily go through this program. The interactive slides, presentations, videos, and quizzes are designed to help you learn step by step. Eligible for externship opportunity. So with an externship, you could experience what it's like to work at a local hospital or healthcare facility, and you could get hands-on experience in an actual medical setting. They help students coordinate these externships, regardless of where you live across the US. It is available nationwide. Look, externships are valuable because they give you that hands-on clinical experience which you can cite on your resume. So, in addition to your formal training and certification prep, they'll also assist you in obtaining real-life clinical experience. Alternatively, you can apply for job assistance services. When you complete the program and meet certain criteria, their team will work with you on your resume, help schedule interviews, and connect you with companies looking to hire surgical techs. So, to summarize, here is everything you get with Preppy. 100% online self-paced training, university certificate, ready for the NCCT surgical tech certification, eligible for an externship opportunity, job assistance services. Now, you are probably wondering, what about the cost? Now, remember, traditional college programs and schools could charge $15,000 to $25,000 when you include the hidden expenses. Preppy, on the other hand, is insanely affordable. You will get instant access to Preppy's surgical tech training program for just one unbeatably low price of $15.99. That is probably less than most people spend on a single semester of traditional college. You can also enroll using payment plans to make it even more affordable. The Preppy approach isn't just theory. They have already helped thousands of busy adults nationwide start their journey towards healthcare careers. And you can find plenty of success stories online showing you it's transforming healthcare education. Now, once again, going back to our mountain, this Preppy pathway really is like having a jetpack that takes you straight to the top. No unnecessary wait, no detours, no waiting around. If you are serious about becoming a surgical tech and want to get there faster, you can get started with the Preppy approach today. All you got to do is click the link in the description below to learn more about Preppy's program and enroll. When you click the link below, you'll be directed to the course page and you can complete your enrollment online to start right away. You can also chat with their amazing course support team if you have any questions related to the program. Imagine a few months from now, you could be walking into your first day as a certified surgical tech. You are in scrubs, you're prepping the operating room, sterilizing instruments, and assisting the surgeon during real procedures. Now, when you get your first paycheck, you'll realize this career change was the best decision you ever made. And instead of being buried under student loan debt, you are building a better financial future from day one. Look, I'm just saying, the future is now just a click away. If you are ready to start your surgical tech journey the smart way, click the link below to check out Preppy's program and enroll today. Well, folks, that is all that we have for today. If this video opened your eyes to 3 paths available for surgical tech training, smash that like button because it really helps us reach more people who need to see this information. And hey, if you were serious about starting a career in the operating room, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. I mean, we are constantly sharing insider information about healthcare careers, training options, and ways to avoid the expensive mistakes that most people make. Now, once again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And as always, until next time, this is Landon, signing off. Take care.